All right. Going live, and Bill's not here yet.
No.
What a surprise.
No, I only make a stream so you guys can chat to each other, and then you can't bother to turn up on time.
Well, there you go. Chatting to you two, so.
Yeah, well, I'm not really going to be hanging out. I mean, yeah, I'll be going to bed in a minute, so.
Miss your pretty face.
No.
Worry about you and the missus all the time.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
Yeah,
we're right.
Sending you all kind of warm vibes that way.
Yeah.
I know what you're going through, and I feel awful for it. But you got birthday comics, and you had a birthday, and we didn't even sing you happy birthday on the show.
Yeah.
We need to sing you happy birthday. You
I was thinking of a birthday
69.
stream, but I never bothered. Never mind.
You did pick a damn good month to have birthday books, though. There are a few better, but not by much. Imagine being a November 1961 birthday, baby.
Who debuted them?
Get the Fantastic Four one. So
you ain't gonna be able to pick that up, is you? Yeah.
What? July, August of 1938. That'd be a good one to have. So, wish Mark could be in a place where he got better Wi-Fi. But he's only doing that for a while longer. And then he's back in retirement.
Yeah.
I'm soon to ship him a jaw-dropping load of books.
You got anything doing lately?
Huh?
You had anything doing lately?
Nah. Just getting over being sick. I've been sick for like 2.5 weeks. Still kind of wore down. Wonder if I had the C19 or something. Hope I didn't, because I've been seeing the grandkids a lot. So
yeah.
We got my grandnephew coming over Friday, and he's going to walk out of here with another short box of comics. So. Gonna spoil him rotten. Though now him and Alistair are competing for the best Spider-Man books, so I'm getting Alistair first print, first appearance of Miles Morales, dual signed.
Cool.
So bringing in some monster books. Because I don't care anymore. I was talking to my wife this week, and I kind of got my goals to hit. I want the first Silver Surfer series 1 through 18. I want some big X-Men books and stuff, but whatever. I'll just stack my library back full of books that the kids will want, and that the wife can cash out easy when I kick off. So. And get rid of like 45, 50 short boxes worth of comics. Eventually.
All your recent tests and that will come back all right, though, didn't they?
Yeah, the better my test, the worse I feel. I don't know how to explain that. So, yeah, I'm good. I think I don't go back to any doctor till like March of next year. Except my primary care physician this week, but I see stuff in my diagnosis. My eyes are getting worse. My insides feel horrible. My head's killing me. And yet all my reads are damn near perfect. I mean, they're shockingly good. That's the words from my cancer doctor. They're shockingly good. The fact my PSAs have remained unremarkable with the aggressive types of cancer I have is shocking to them. They're like, usually we see like upticks in that stuff, and they haven't been seeing it. And, all the radiation and medications are out of my system except for my stuff I take daily, but that's not for like any of the cancers. That just helps my body function. So
Yeah.
I'm doing great, but I don't foresee I'm gonna buck the trend. And best case scenario, I got 10 years left. Good case scenario, I got 5 years left. Logic would dictate I got less than that. And that's a day to day.
Just don't know.
Yeah, I just kind of go over that in my head day to day. I don't know. My wife came in last night and thought she's going overboard because we got a 4-month-old granddaughter, but she's already getting her like a Minnie Mouse tea set table. And she's like, did I go overboard? And I'm like, hell no. I don't care if she can't use it for a year and a half. That's just beyond adorable. We can set that up in here and have those moments with her. And I'm stealing every moment in life I can. Hell, that's why I'm on today. I'm just here to steal the moments. So, I don't know. So, yeah, and then, of course, we could talk politics. What a fucking circus going on here. How ridiculous does this country look from your perspective now? I mean, just one right after another. Guys going to jail. People just continue to be found guilty. People screaming. It's like, the person that found them guilty was like a Trump judge, a Trump appointed judge.
Mm-hmm.
Nuts, right?
Mind boggling.
It is. It boggles the mind.
Howdy,
folks.
What boggles my mind is
welcome to another
exciting
chapter of Kyle Smokes Cancer Sticks. Dun, 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 dun. Go good answers in the background. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
You okay, buddy?
I'm there. I'm just in the moment.
You look there.
Yeah, I've been under the weather for a couple weeks.
Oh, I'm sorry. Gray, are you there?
Well, it was.
Gray.
Kind of there.
Hey, kind of there? Good.
Kind of there.
You look a little black and white this week.
Yeah. Hey, let's do some trivia.
Uh-oh. Dun, dun, dun.
I quit trusting my brain a while back, so
I don't know why. You still beat it like almost every week. Yeah, another exciting show today, folks.
Yeah.
Well, we're finally out of the 100-degree weather here in Texas as of like 2 days ago. We had almost three straight months of it. And it sucked. And the British, you guys couldn't even handle 2 weeks of it, I bet. It's tough.
We don't need heat, mate. We don't need it here. You keep your
keep it in Texas, Mon.
Okay. Yeah, you keep that rubbish there. We just
thanks.
That's the reason I got my camera, because I'm sitting there in the kitchen in my pants.
Oh, nice to hear. So I'm wearing my Super Santa shirt this week.
Yeah.
Which I like.
Very cool.
Again,
thank you guys to it anyway, because I've got to go to bed now, really. So I'm going to be like watching something with Lisa. So I'll leave you guys to chat, all right?
Okay, buddy. Have a good one.
Yeah, and
take care of us. Yeah, I gotta shoot you my address to send to those guys. I want me like an autographed little Super Santa.
Oh, let me show you what I got. Hold on.
Print. Gotta get a print.
So send me the signed print. It's very nice. I like it. And then sent me the book. The book is huge, by the way.
Nice.
Absolutely huge. And the book, actually, if I can find it. Oh, here it is. The book actually has a sketch.
Spectacular.
Isn't that great? Isn't that great?
That is spectacular.
I have to tell Rusty, thank you, Rusty. Thank you, Mookie. Thank you guys for coming last week. It was one of our funnest episodes, I thought.
Yeah, and then we get them back in the beginning of October and the beginning of November.
So that's great. So expect more Super Santa, folks. Super
And
Santa.
That early October show, my wife's going to be in New Orleans with one of the kids, so I'm just going to
That'd be
sitting
great.
by myself, twiddling my thumbs. So. It's one thing I
I'm sorry
like.
how you totaled your thumb. Sorry.
Yeah, my wife can still get around and enjoy things. So.
I would like to say, for the record, this episode is unofficially sponsored by Purple Haze from Avita in New Orleans, where Kyle's wife will be.
Purple Haze and egg salad and
Salmon?
watermelon.
Oh, watermelon. It's funny. It looked like salmon at first.
Egg salad and watermelon.
Egg salad and watermelon. So it's just you and me today.
Yeah.
Let me show you some things I got last week. More Hanna-Barbera stuff. I got this great Viewmaster reel. 3 reels, of course. It's a great cover, and I love that.
Okay, I'm confused. That looks like a new CD cover for a Viewmaster. Did they reprint those?
No, it's in a plastic case.
Oh, it's in a plastic. Nice. That's an original.
Yeah, they make these cool now, just like they do for comics, except these are, I mean, look at the quality. I mean, it's very thick. It's more vinyl-y.
Yeah.
You know, but very thick.
Well, made for like a CD or something, but very cool to have Viewmaster stuff. I'd love to have an old Viewmaster again.
Yeah, they're not that hard to find. This one had a really great booklet that came with it. But look at the Adamant. The Adamant looks like he's out of Little Orphan Annie. He has no pupils. It's kind of strange.
Yeah.
And then Secret Squirrel, Squiddly Diddly, Runaway Squid. And then here, of course, are the actual reels, which you can't really see, but
yeah, still spectacularly cool.
I
actually, when you flip that around, you could actually see all of one of them.
I know. I like that. And okay, so then I also got, remember these babies?
The slide puzzle.
Slide tray puzzle.
Yeah. Also
of the Secret Squirrel show with Winnie Witch in there, of course, and Squiddly and Morocco Mole. These are a lot of fun. It came to me not put together, so I had to put it, not done. So I did it. Took me about 10, 15 minutes. I'd forgotten how hard the damn things could be. They really take a while.
The precursor to the Rubik's Cube.
Exactly. In fact, there were some that were just colors, and you had to do a certain color combination. It was very Rubik's-y, if you ask me. But I'm sliding this back in like so. So there.
Yeah.
I have to find some more stuff. Do you have anything to show this week?
I'm not trotting up and down stairs. I'm getting stuff laid out up there. I pulled out bunch of Mark books, a bunch of Boston Scott books, a bunch of Montreal Johnny books, stuff I'm sending on. Pulled out about $10,000 worth of stuff again. Move on with it.
Wow.
Hopefully, I'm gonna do an itemization with Mark and be like, here are these things. Here's a run of Journey into Mystery. Here's a punch lot from the 1880s.
I still want at least one of your pre-horror comics.
Yeah, you'd have to talk to Mark for that one. Though.
I know.
And before Gray got off, I don't want to get in trouble in sending them over there.
I know.
But I think I'm going to come off a couple of my Tijuana Bibles, my first run Tijuana Bibles. I think I'll let
you gotta find at least one for me. I won't tell them where I got it.
Well, see, you're stateside. I ain't worried about that. I ain't worried about sending those stateside. It's, it can be considered pornography, shipping it to the UK. So,
I can't find anything readily. Well, wait, maybe I can in here.
I need to send one of those Tijuana Bibles to Gray. Send one or two to Mark. I'm going to set him up some lots and just be like, pick 'em, buddy. Pick what you want. Someday I'm going to get down to 10 short boxes or less.
Yeah, I got this at Comic-Con. You heard of this book?
No.
The artwork is phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's really good. It's by Jeff Johns and Gary Frank. It's actually great artwork. Almost, but
I don't miss working with Geiger counters and stuff.
oh, I bet you don't. And this apparently is what the first collected works looks like. I do want to say that my good pal John Jennings collected Ghostlight is coming out in the next few weeks. I can't wait to get that.
Cool.
I guess I'll have to order it.
Yeah, I was moving around stuff yesterday for my grandnephew's visit on Friday. He's going to come spend the night with me and just get handed stacks of comics. But sitting on the top of one of the boxes I had in there was my license to run an ANPDR 27 Radiac detector, which is a handheld
Geiger counter.
Geiger counter.
That's pretty fucking cool. Pardon my French.
It's kind of scary. I still remember the nomenclature of that stuff 35 years later, but
sheesh.
I was a licensed ANPDR 27 carrier, which meant if you saw me, we were in trouble. I keep meaning to dig out my debrief letter from the Pentagon for a couple of incidents during the Gulf War, because I think it'd be funnier than hell to show that off now. It's one of my old favorite stories I still love telling. I told my whole family I didn't forward deploy to the Gulf. Nothing happened. People need to quit worrying. It doesn't matter if you don't hear from me for a couple of months. I'm somewhere else in the world.
What?
I
hope I didn't hear that right.
But I loved it. I had to have a permanent address on record. I got out of the military and I was couch surfing an apartment hopping.
Yeah.
And I put my mom's address as my permanent address if they needed to get in touch with me. Pre-cell phone days and stuff.
Yeah.
And then this letter comes in the mail to me from the Pentagon from the Office of Gulf War Illness Affairs and all that shit.
Jesus.
And my mom sees that, and she just tears it open. She's like, "Why are you getting a letter from the Pentagon?" And it was like a 3-page debrief on some incident reports that we had, 3 in particular, where we were in close proximity to chemical weapons attacks. And my mom called me up losing her fucking mind. She said, "You weren't close to any of this shit. This right here says you were right in the middle of it." I'm like, yeah, whatever. You know, and she said,
Whatevs.
"No, it names you by name. It names your unit. It says this." And I was like, "Yeah, okay." You know, it's like 2 years later, and I'm out of the military, and I'm like, all right, yeah, I was there. I just didn't want to worry people. I was there. Some shit happened. I lied about it.
Well, sometimes that's best.
Well, it was back then. It drive me nuts in the digital age now. There's nothing about me that would want to have contact back with family. When you're up in shitty things happening, you don't want to be distracted. You don't want to be overcome with emotion.
No, it's true.
Decompress when you come back, because most of it wasn't scary. Most of all of it wasn't scary. And the moments that were scary, I'm glad I couldn't get in touch with anybody.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly. I'm coming right back.
and then it just give me funny stories to tell in my old age.
Dun, dun, dun.
Have dead air.
So, why don't we do something different this week? Why don't we go back and forth and try to out trivia each other?
You'll kick my ass this week.
I don't think I will. I don't think I will.
All right. Pick a topic. Pick a title.
Okay. Now I'm just gonna hit you with different shit. Like each question will be something different.
You got a book, cards, or something, or are you just doing it off the top of your head?
Off the top of my head, I don't have anything written down.
Good deal.
What was the first? Who was the first superhero live action to come to the silver screen?
Damn, that's kind of tight in there, because they had serials of Superman, Shazam, and Batman back then. More than likely it was Captain Marvel, probably Superman.
It was Captain Marvel. Good one with Tim Tyler. And then Batman came next, then Superman. However, the Superman cartoon predated them all, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
They kind of rushed Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel, his serial came out just a year after he premiered.
Yeah.
And actually didn't have a whole lot to do with the comic except Shazam but he wasn't even really a kid. It was I don't know. It was wonky, but it was enjoyable. And I have it somewhere around here. Probably on VHS though. Sadly. But okay, shoot one from the hip to me.
Who played Shazam in the 70s, and who's his famous brother?
Jackson Bostwick.
Yeah.
And John Davey. They both played him.
Yeah. And who's Jackson Bostwick's more famous brother?
Who?
You don't know Jackson Bostwick's more famous brother?
No. And I'm sure his name is Bostwick, but Barry Bostwick?
Yeah.
Barry is his brother?
Yeah.
How did I not
Think
know
about
that?
it. They damn near look alike. They're damn near identical.
That's amazing. I never knew that.
Yeah.
We know Jackson Bostwick drives around because Captain Marvel was his only, or Shazam as Captain Marvel was his only claim to fame. So he drives around in a Shazam mobile, which looks pretty damn cool, I might add.
Yeah.
He's poured some money into that. I never realized that. That's so hilarious. I never put two and two together. Yeah, they do look a lot alike.
Yeah.
John Davey, I thought was not nearly as good. He looked more like Captain Marvel, but I like Jackson Bostwick much more. And he kind of got screwed on that deal.
I think they kind of got it right with Zachary Levi playing him.
I thought so too, but they didn't promote the movies well enough. They didn't give it the backing that they gave Batman versus Superman and those kind of movies. I was very disappointed in Batman versus Superman, as was most everybody.
Except for Wonder Woman.
Yeah, except for Wonder Woman. Could not stand Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor.
It's just bad.
Worst Lex Luthor ever. I mean, they've had some horrible Lex Luthors, let's face it.
Yeah.
But I actually liked, what's the guy from all the teen movies of the 80s? He was in Pretty in Pink.
Anthony Michael Hall. Or John Cryer. You're talking about
John Cryer.
Yeah, Cryer's turn as him was pretty entertaining.
Now, one I do like a lot is the guy who played Lex Luthor most recently in Superman and Lois. Can't think of that guy's name.
You know who needs to be Lex Luthor?
Who?
Bob De Niro.
He's too old now.
Bob De Niro.
He would have been good.
Should have played Lex Luthor.
I really thought Al Pacino was good in Dick Tracy.
That was surprisingly good for a cheese movie. That was surprisingly good.
Oh my gosh!
I thought the low point of that movie was an actual acquaintance of mine.
What's that?
I actually thought the low point of Dick Tracy was an acquaintance of mine.
Who?
Madonna.
You knew Madonna? How'd you know Madonna?
Friend of a friend.
Oh, wow.
Kind of grew up together.
Was it before she turned British when you knew her?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was her teen years. I got to know Madonna when she was still a teenager. She's like 6, 7 years older than me, but her best friend in Michigan was one of my exes.
Oh, she grew up in Michigan, didn't she?
Yeah.
I forgot all about that.
So she got big. When she got big, I thought it was funny because, again, I was still a kid when she got big. I was still in high school when she got big. But we kind of indirectly stayed in touch. I have some silly Madonna stories I've told over and over, but
I thought she was good as Breathless in that.
She was good, and that song Hanky Panky was absolutely brilliant. But I just think in a movie where they're supposed to overdo it, I think she overdid it.
Yeah, I thought Mandy Patinkin as 88 Keys was fantastic.
That Rogues Gallery in that movie was so comic book accurate and well done.
William Ragsdale as Flat Top.
Yeah.
That guy is certainly an underrated actor.
I mean, Beatty is Dick Tracy, whatever. I mean, I'll take it.
Yeah.
But, for comic-y stuff, that's one of those where it's just, it's hard not to put it in the top 10 of best comic adaptations.
I think the
Because
woman who
it's
played
so
Tess. I think the woman who played
true to the comic.
the woman who played Tess was married to John Malkovich at the time, of all people.
Yeah. Yet
John
another guy. Oh my
Malkovich.
God.
What's that?
What couldn't Malkovich do?
Malkovich would have been the best Lex Luthor.
Yeah, Malkovich is Luthor. Malkovich. He could pick him and he can play anything. Dr. Savannah. Oh my God.
He would have been great. I
He
didn't
still would
mind
be.
Mark
I mean,
Strong, but I didn't think he was that great.
just
They didn't make him weaselly. They made him strong.
yeah.
And I thought that was stupid. But go figure.
Yeah, Mark Strong could do a lot of different.
He was really good in Kingsman.
Yeah, and he could still. God, there's just so many upper echelon, older comic characters these guys could play.
Yep. That have never been played. That have never been portrayed correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still think the Stargirl TV series was phenomenal. They had a lot of really good actors in roles that you barely saw them in. You had Henry Thomas in the first 2 seasons as Dr. Midnight. And then he had some crummy dude come in the 3rd season when he was actually on like almost every week. It was kind of stupid.
The only thing that really threw me off with that was the new Dr. Midnight and the new Wildcat. They were just too young, too small, too dainty. You know,
I don't know. I thought the girl playing Wildcat was great. I thought Beth's character. I thought the actress was really good. They played it a little different than they did in the comics, but
they were good. But they were like freshmen in high school, and they should have been like seniors.
Right. Well,
they should have been a little bigger.
I thought Our
bit more
Man was
mature.
fantastic, though. They did a good job with that. Him, Solomon Grundy was played by Lou Ferrigno. Thought that was pretty inspired. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the entire series. 3 years was not enough for me, and then we had to suffer through 9 years of The Flash.
Yeah.
Which
well,
the
when
last
they hit well though.
What's that?
When they hit well.
Yeah.
Just they didn't hit often enough.
Yeah. No, that's true. That's true.
All right, well, hold down the fort for a minute. I'm going to go put my egg salad in the fridge and go grab a couple things from upstairs.
Okay. Now, let's see if anyone's in chat today. Okay, let's see what we got here. We got hello from New Mexico, Las Cruces 71. Easy E Fallout, hello. Greyman, hi Ease. Oh, okay. Las Cruces. Yeah, he is running up the stairs right now, Las Cruces. Michael Cudlitz. Yes. Michael Cudlitz is a great actor. In fact, Michael Cudlitz was phenomenal in The Kids Are All Right, which is a series that came out 5 years ago. Lasted only 1 season, sadly, but it was probably the best written family TV series about a family that I've ever seen. It was smartly written. The cast was great. The kids were absolutely phenomenal actors. One of the kids was actually Willy Wonka. Or not Willy Wonka, I'm sorry. Was Charlie Bucket in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory on Broadway. They had quite a good cast there. I can't think of all the actors' names, sadly, but they had one brother who was going to be a priest. Then he decided to quit the priesthood or quit the going through the the diaconate and go back to just going to college. That was an interesting part of the storyline. There were it was just very well done. If you ever get a chance to see it, it's not on Hulu anymore. I don't know where it is currently, but might be on the CW. They always put weird stuff on there, or stuff you wouldn't expect on there, I should say. Let me go back to chat real quick, see if anyone else has commented. I don't know if Kyle is back on Instagram yet, Las Cruces. We'll have to ask him when he gets here. What else do I have to talk about or show? Well, I have this. I've shown it once before, but a few years ago, Mattel decided to do these little babies where they brought back major action figure characters from the past, like Major Matt Mason. They didn't do a great job. I mean, they're okay, but all the faces kind of look the same. It's kind of wonky to me. They could have put a little bit more into the faces. You even get a Pulsar, but I don't think anything happens when he pushes back like the original. You'd see all the blood flowing through him. And then, of course, the one that dominated the 70s for Mattel, their version of G.I. Joe, Big Jim. He looks pretty good. He is actually in the Pack costume. And they even said Big Jim the Pack. Now, I will say this. What's nice about this packaging is, look at that. It's Jack Kirby art on the packaging. So I thought that was great. Las Cruces had a few things to ask you, Kyle, including if you're back on Instagram.
No, I'm not going back on the socials. This is my social media presence right here.
That's I think that's more than enough for most of us. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
But I do, there are things I liked about the Mattel 70s stuff. They always had good logos. I love that. Pulsar, the Ultimate Man. Hey, baby, you want to see my blood flow? Okay. Enough of that. So, people did mention they were missing you running up the stairs, Kyle. So, did you bring something back with you?
Yeah, a couple little laughs because I knew where it was. I don't do house tours anymore or anything like that. But there's a mop level 4 gear and an AMPDR 27 radiac detector.
Oh, wow.
That's where I was at school for that.
Hey, show that one more time.
Show a different one. It's right next to my bunk, but I had to get decked out.
So you look like a G.I. Joe Action Jackson in real life.
I had to get decked out.
You can tell that's you in there, too. That's amazing. You also look like a Flash villain or two.
I hadn't even tied off my boots yet or anything, but I figured.
Oh, my God.
Well, I got to get into gear. I spent more than enough time in that outfit, even though I went through like 20 of those suits.
Jeez.
Charcoal line suit, but I went through like 20 of them.
Thank you for your service, sir.
You're welcome. Because I went through these schools, I got certified in the Atlantic and the Pacific, so I was globally certified at this stuff.
Atlantic, Pacific, be specific.
In Marine Corps parlance, that meant I was certified from Asia,
all the way to Russia,
from the U.S. East. I literally was certified globally with these things, which was overkill. It was
Kyle
the same
Andrews, certified, globally certified. Kyle Andrews.
But that was one of my toys. Then. See if I can cover that up. I'm not going to put my social on the net, but that'd be me.
K.R. Andrews.
Look at that, 160 pounds.
So if you never ever married a woman named Pratt and hyphenated your name, your initials would have been crap.
This is my M12 SMDA, my M12 SMDA license, which meant I could operate.
SMDA, it's funded.
I was the actual. I was the actual operating NCO of an M12 skid-mounted decon apparatus, where I could set up a decontamination point if people got hit with stuff. I ran a decontamination point to get the nerve gas off of them.
Would you have a series of chemical showers, or would you have? Yeah.
Yep. Start with a shower and then get chemical showers. I was well versed in atropine and 2-PAM chloride and all those funny things. Even though I was artillery, I got all this stuff for that because I became a NBC NCO.
Wow.
Nuclear, biological, and chemical weapons warfare NCO. Here's a little laugh. I had to carry this in my pocket at all times. Is that reversed, or can you read that straight?
Oh, I can read it. Wow. Last resort after all lesser means have failed. Self-defense, defense of property involving national security, defense of property not involving national security but inherently dangerous to others, to prevent or interrupt serious offenses against others, to effect the apprehension of or to prevent the escape of a known felon when given a lawful order by competent authority.
It's my firing orders. There's one of the Marine Barracks.
So they thought you were competent? So
no,
weird.
I had to carry one of these at all times to prevent an international incident, to prove that I knew if I had to kill somebody, I knew the rules of engagement.
Does that also basically say that you have the authority by having that card? That's what I thought. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it wasn't really cool. It's not cool. That's
no. I mean, no. I didn't. Let me rephrase that. It's cool that we had somebody that I would trust with that, like you. But yeah, I see what you're saying.
Here's a funny one. Let me make sure not too much personal information's on here.
Like your social.
So here's a baggage claim check for LAX.
What?
Here's a baggage claim check for LAX.
What was that for? Your
Just check this out and see if you can figure this out.
Your weapon? Okay, hold on a second. I'm away from the screen right now.
Nice little baggage claim check from LA.
Oh, wow.
There's me going into LA.
Wow.
You see what I flew on?
Federal Express?
They'd fly us around on FedEx planes and UPS planes.
What was that?
Where I flew out of.
Was that for covert reasons?
You know what's relevant about that?
Japan?
Yeah.
Was that for security reasons to fly you on FedEx?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But what's significant about Kadena Air Base?
I don't know.
It's a home base for an X-Men jet.
Oh, for the Lockheed.
The SR-71 Blackbirds.
I did not know that.
Yeah. And then the date on this, that just cracks me up. I had to fly incognito.
What did you wear? FedEx gear?
No, I was like in civvies and had a bandana on my head and stuff. But
wow.
See the date?
April 30th, 1991?
Yeah.
Wow.
Which was the significance of that date? Or the
I
date?
have no idea.
prior to it. The Gulf War just ended.
Oh, yeah, of course.
They flew us back and forth and flew us around. Here's another private flight I took where I had to be incognito. It doesn't have the year on it. That kind of surprised me.
Osaka.
Japan Airlines out of Osaka.
What's that? What's the symbol above Osaka? The Japanese symbol?
What's the symbol above Osaka? It says Osaka.
No. But there's a Japanese letter above it. What letter is that? The one that looks like a stick figure.
I think it means flight. I think that means flight.
Okay.
I think that means my Japanese is so fucking rusty. That's Osaka. I believe that's flight, Osaka.
Did you ever drink any sake in Osaka?
Yet again, I'm a Marine. Why was I in Osaka? There's stories
to drink sake. I'm kidding.
This is a first class airline ticket. Why was I a Marine taking that? I had to go so undercover. I flew first class and had a $200 meal.
Wow.
In 1991.
Did you dress fancier when you were in first class?
I dressed like I dressed in rags. I ripped my clothes.
What? In first class though?
I look like a hipster for that time.
No, that's funny.
I had to travel incognito. I was a target if I wasn't traveling incognito. Back before they had the full
Sergeant Incognito.
But corporal, not sergeant. But the funny thing about this flight is this is Osaka to San Francisco, which I can't go. And then I had to go make sure again. Make sure there's nothing relevant on there. I had to go Osaka to San Francisco and San Francisco to Indianapolis. And I went from Japan Airlines first class to basically U.S. Air. Wasn't first class. What do they call it? Business class or whatever.
Right. The next best class.
But I was a step up. And again, I wasn't supposed to look military, but they basically told me up to not look military when I had to get back here and then turn back around and fly back out. But my favorite story comes from this right here. This is where I met Robin Williams.
Oh, well, very good, sir. That was post Good Morning Vietnam, wasn't it?
Yeah. But a short version of that story, I had to fly back incognito. They wouldn't I had already come out of the field. They wouldn't let me shave, so I was scruffier than I am now. The bandanas. Had to take a new pair of jeans and cut them up and cut the knees out. And, just looked like a traveling punk.
I'm a traveling punk.
I ended up having a 13-hour layover at SFO. And they rolled me into the Presidio. They gave me a debrief, and they said, you ain't got to be back here for 10 hours. And then we'll roll you back to the airport. And again, I had to be back 2 hours prior, so that was all taken care of.
It was just 8 hours then.
So, I rolled out of the Presidio and went into a gay bar there and drank for a while and stuff like that. But, I had fun. I had a blast. I got a pack of matches from the gay bar that I went to up there. And the gate guards were like, weren't you scared, being a Marine, being mistaken for being gay? And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I wanted to drink at the closest bar, and they're cool people. And then the gate guards let me there, which the Presidio became what? What did the Presidio become?
I don't remember.
Lucasfilm.
Oh, did it really?
Before he moved to the ranch. He bought the Presidio before he moved to the ranch. Then he sold it. Now it's like a business complex or whatever.
Skywalker Ranch is no longer?
He moved Lucasfilm to the ranch.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
Before he moved to the ranch, he bought the Presidio. Which again, there's actually movies called the Presidio. It was a lockdown military base in San Francisco. But I watched the sunset over the Golden Gate and things and was just in awe of everything about that. But they rolled me back to the airport a couple hours early. And I'm sitting there reading a book. Nightlife by Peter David, by the way. Brilliant book. I'm sitting at the gate reading a book. And there's all this commotion at the gate down from me. Just all kind of commotion. You know, people today won't understand how open this used to be compared to how it is now.
Oh, of course. Post 9/11.
You'd have like 4 gates and sections, and you could see the length of it. And, you know, there's all kind of commotion at the previous gate. And I'm sitting there reading, and I'm not paying attention. And people on my flight are going down there, and I'm still not paying attention. And there's still a hubbub. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And I walk down, and there stands Robin Williams signing autographs and taking pictures with all these people. And right as I walk down, they're pulling him away. They're pulling him onto his flight. They're like, we can't wait no more. And I'm standing back about 10 feet. And I look up, and we make eye contact, and I smile. And I'm like, how you doing, Mr. Williams? And he waved me up, and he goes, they got to pull me on the plane. But he says, you're military traveling incognito, aren't you? And I'm like, yes, sir, I am. He says, well, we ain't got time to do pictures. I said, I ain't carrying nothing for pictures. You know, I didn't even think to have him sign my boarding pass, but he shook my hand, and he's like, you know, thank you for your service. You know, you be safe, young man, and skittered off onto his thing. So I basically got 15 seconds in a you be safe, young man from Robin Williams.
You be safe, young man.
Oh. But he was like, you're military, aren't you? I'm like, yeah, I'm a Marine traveling incognito.
So he was going to go through Lewy body disorder or something like that.
Yeah.
And I think it would have been horrible for him to go through. I think I don't think he did the right thing, of course, but you know.
I want to get my friend Rick Overton on the show so bad to talk about that, but we'd both be in tears.
Oh, yeah, we don't need that.
You know who Rick Overton is, don't you?
No.
Comedian. My favorite thing he's ever done. He's been in a million Hollywood movies, but he's a bit part character actor, kind of funny. But the best thing he ever did was completely fucking improvised. And Groundhog's Day, when Bill Murray's riding around with those 2 guys and they get pulled over.
Is he one of the guys in the truck?
He's one of the guys in the truck.
I know who he is.
He's the flapjack guy.
Yeah.
And he's like Epic Beard Man and Dinner for Schmucks and stuff.
Yeah.
But that whole bit about you got flapjacks was improvised.
That's funny.
And I love when he tells it. He tells us it's so funny when he, because I can't do the story justice. It's so funny when he tells it, but it doesn't matter. Every time we talk, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? You know, this is life, and this is what's going on. Within 3 minutes, it's to Robin and what happened with his heart surgery and the heart valve problems, and that's what caused Lewy body dementia. Rick was one of his best friends.
Wow.
So I'm well acquainted with Rick. Rick was one of his best friends. The only people closer, like working friends, you know what I mean? Not
right
at your house every day, but
right.
They did socialize, they did hang out, and they did visit, but they were working friends. But like Bob Goldthwait was a much closer friend, and Bob can't even talk about it. Bob still 10 years later
Do you know
Can't
Bob?
talk about it. I've met him a few times, but
hey Kyle.
the funniest, you want a culture shock? Like I was sitting in the back of a limo. I love this is big name drop here. I'm sitting in the back of a limo with Bob Goldthwait and Gilbert Gottfried.
Ow! Oh my God!
Two of the noisiest fuckers on stage, and I swear to God, the only person more soft-spoken than Bob Goldthwait is Gilbert Gottfried.
In real life.
In real life.
Right, right.
They are genuinely soft-spoken, genial people. And it was just funny. We're just talking about, being soft-spoken and genial.
How did we lose
I got a kick out of
Norm
introducing my
and
wife to Gilbert a couple of years ago.
How did we lose Gilbert and Norm the same year? Norm Macdonald was one of the funniest comedians ever, I think.
Yeah.
I just think he was fantastic.
I would have loved to have met Norm, but, I can schmooze. Sometimes it was working things, but I can schmooze my way into limos and tour buses and stuff like that. And that's why I tell the stories. But, I have normal conversations. When I introduced Gilbert to my wife, I thought that was funny. But I always wanted to meet Norm. Always wanted to meet Norm.
I worked on and off with Bill Hicks for 3 years. I used to open for him. And, it's funny that they call him this groundbreaking comedian years after he died. He was groundbreaking, but no one recognized it until years after he was gone.
Yeah.
And he never really got the attention he deserved, I didn't think. He went way too young. He was like 32 or 34, I think, when he died.
Well, he died of cancer, though, right?
Pancreatic, yeah.
Yeah. I just lost a friend last year to that.
I'm sorry about that.
Know. Craig Ferguson's on my wish list to hang out with now.
What is he doing now? I don't see him on anything anymore.
Oh, he does the occasional comedy tour, then goes back to Scotland. So I wanted to hang out with him, but they wanted like $170 for tickets.
Oh my God, that's ridiculous.
Which I wouldn't do, and I didn't want to. I had to jump through too many hoops. If I have to make 2 phone calls, I'll do it. But if it goes beyond 2 phone calls, I don't fuck with it. Like when I got to hang out with Roy Clark, I made 1 phone call. 1 phone call. Made 1 phone call, done deal. Sometimes it's all right, you got this, here's them.
I wish I could have met Roy Clark.
Oh God, so fun. But
hold on, I'll be right back.
Okay. But yeah, if I have to go past 2 phone calls, I don't fucking mess with it. And I got to run around with Craig Ferguson so bad I didn't even mess with it. So. Fill the dead air. Fill the dead air. So I got 2 right now where I'm working on the second connection that's worth it. I don't know. Bill, when you get back, you need to tell me if these 2 going for a second connection, going instead of just a single connection giving up. I got 2 that merit follow up. I haven't even looked at the chat again. I'm so out of it. Ooh, nice. Yeah. Hope you're still here, James. Sorry it took so long to answer. So I got 2 second follow-ups in the pipeline that it should be worth it. Roll away.
That's Roy Clark.
I told you about sending Mark the autograph picture he gave my dad, right?
No.
Yeah. since Mark's
And
first
then-
name is Bill.
On the back as well.
Can never
And
get enough
then-
yeehaw.
Misty Row. And you met
And
another.
another, you were gone. But yeah, the 2 second connectors I've got in line right now are Mick Jones from The Clash and Neil Gaiman. So I'll do a second call on those. I'll do a follow.
Do you think we could get Mick Jones?
Yeah.
Holy crap, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, he took a pass in February and then needed a break for a little bit, but he does want to come on and talk comics. He just got to.
Well, they were big into comics, all three of them, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Especially Mick. Mick is an uber comic book nerd.
Now Joe Strummer has died, right?
Yeah, he died
7 or 8
a
years
month
ago.
before they went into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Did he really?
But, yeah. But Mick doesn't want to talk to Clash. If we're going to talk comics, he wants to talk.
No, I don't want to talk. You know what I would like to
But-
talk though? So I would like to talk some of the crazy things that happen, not musical or not on stage, but some of the stories we've always heard that I don't believe. I mean, I believe they were probably crazier than what we heard, maybe even, but I think the guy would be great on the show.
Yeah, he frequents the London Comic Mart to the point that he's basically at every show.
Has Mark ever seen him?
Mark's probably seen him and had no fucking idea.
Yeah.
But
Because he's 70 now, right?
Mark doesn't like punk music, so yeah, he's pushing 80.
Pushing 80?
Yeah.
Mick Jones?
Yeah. Holy
crap.
I'm pushing 60 and they were like 15 years older than me, 15, 20 years older than me.
Wow.
Yeah, he's mid to late 70s easily. I'm pretty sure he's in my mom's exact age. So
wow.
I'm pretty sure I did that right. I'm pretty sure he was born in 46. So
that would have made him already in his 30s when the Clash got famous.
Mid 20s, I think, in 83 or 79.
No, if he's born in 46, he would have been 33 in 79.
76. All right, maybe no. I still thought they were like 15 years older than me.
Well, if they're 15 years older than you, they'd just be in their
older.
early 70s.
Like 40. Maybe he was born in 49 or something. I know he's closer to my mom's age than my age. That's all I know.
Well, yeah, of course.
But there's only 20 years between me and my mom. So my mom had me when she was 20. So.
Wow. And you're the oldest, right?
No, I'm the baby.
Oh, really? Wow. Yeah. Your mom sure spat him out young.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, surprisingly, she hadn't been on. Yeah, she spat him out young. But that's why my mom, for the last 30 years, has looked younger than me.
Well, your mom just looks great anyway.
Yeah, she looks younger than me.
She's a sweet, sweet lady.
So,
well,
she's a cornball. So.
Should we wrap things up a little early this week?
I don't know. I was having fun talking. So,
I am too. We can keep going for a little bit.
You know, I know, Gray. I figure when we just shut off, it just goes off. So
I'm not looking forward to the TV season because I don't think we're going to have anything new coming out anytime soon because of the strike. I do know they have several series in the can, but I'm a little bummed out because I don't think you're going to see a lot of your. Well, I don't know if you're going to see any September premieres like you normally do.
Yeah, what I'm on a rewatch binge on, which I can't believe is 10 years old. If you got Max, HBO Max, I'm rewatching The Newsroom.
You know, I never watched that.
How utterly relevant that is. I mean, half of the show is stupid ass love story, stupid shit, stupid TV shit.
Right.
But the other half is utterly riveting. And 10 years later, it is still absolutely relevant. The whole
the show I really enjoyed was, and recently, just watched it recently, is Justified with Timothy Oliphant. And
I still haven't got around to
and
watching
Walton
it.
Goggins. I think Walton Goggins is one of the. They sure wasted him in the Ant-Man movie, but I think he's one of the best villain actors there are out there today.
Well, the movies, I loaned my kid My Own Worst Enemy, and somewhere it got lost in the shuffle, but talk about a 9-episode TV series that was just amazing. You ever seen that with Christian Slater?
Yeah.
It's like 9 movies. It's not even it just got so
that was real good, and Christian Slater was also really, really good in Mr. Robot.
Yeah.
That was a great series.
Yeah, another good one there. Another one I'm trying to find is Cupid.
I don't remember that.
Jeremy Piven. Jeremy Piven.
I don't remember that one.
He literally played Cupid.
Oh, that's funny.
In the modern day, but it's hard to explain, but it's just brilliant. And then Miracles with Skeet Ulrich. That was another brilliant one. Just short lasting. I still got my Miracles box set though.
I liked Rabbit Hole with Kiefer Sutherland that came out earlier this year.
I need to get him on this goddamn show.
Do you know Kiefer?
Indirectly.
I wish you could.
I am well acquainted with his business partner.
Now, isn't his business partner military related somehow? Isn't that how you got
Nope,
into
not at all. Not at all. It's Jude Cole. The most underrated musician that's ever walked the earth. A 1990s James Taylor that never got his due.
What was his name?
Jude Cole.
Tim Cole?
Jude Cole.
Jude Cole. I don't know who that is.
Jude Cole. I highly recommend you look him up. Jude Cole. My favorite entertainer ever. I have yet to see him in concert, but
does he still tour?
No, not really. On occasion, but he's from Rock Island, Illinois. But he transplanted out to LA like at the end of the 70s.
Wow.
He's a session musician, producer. He started Ironworks Records with Kiefer Sutherland. He produced Kiefer's first album. Kiefer's first recording was on a song called Joe on Jude's third album. But they opened Ironworks Records together. That's since folded. But most people would only know Jude as like the business manager for Lifehouse.
Oh, I remember Lifehouse.
But right after I got cancer, I had yet to see Jude in a proper concert. We've had dozens of conversations, talked about life. I have all kind of shit from him. I got my favorite album ever, A View from 3rd Street. I've got a demo record of that. And I was talking to him online. And I was like, well, this sucks. I just got nailed with 2 cancer diagnoses, both malignant, both advanced, both aggressive. I said, so now I'm going to be a Make-A-Wish kid.
I hope you are.
Me a letter
you deserve it.
I said, why don't you send me a letter so I can hang your autograph on my wall? And he goes, all right, give me your address. And so a couple days later, I get this care package. And all I'm expecting is like a postcard. and I get this huge ass care package from him.
From who?
Jude Cole.
Oh.
And I open it up, and there's personal letters in there, and there's, hey, how do you do? And there's his copy from his shelf of View from 3rd Street, my favorite record ever, signed to me.
Wow.
Because I don't know. In 20 years, I probably told the guy that was my favorite record 1,000 times over. He is my JMD Mateus of music. And, I mean, the Lifehouse kids knew me as that Jude Cole guy. They call me Kyle, but then they just call me Jude Cole guy just for fun.
Well,
but
wasn't he on several TV series also?
He did stuff on TV, but he wasn't a regular actor.
Oh, okay.
But he's if Keeper liked comics, I'd have him on the show, but he'd rather talk music. And Gray says we should avoid that, so you know.
Okay, very good.
If comics were a sidebar, we could go that route, but Keeper is probably the coolest. Well, no, that's not true. There's too many Hollywood. Kiefer is just cool.
Didn't Kiefer collect comics, or am I thinking of someone else?
Everybody did as a little kid, but it never stuck.
It stuck with Billy Mummy, and it stuck with Nicolas Cage.
How many names? Here's some trivia. How many names does Kiefer Sutherland properly have? His Christian name is how many names?
6.
17.
Oh, that's weird as shit. Why would anyone need that many names?
Because his dad is Donald Sutherland, and he was married to a hippie.
And he's married to who?
To a hippie.
Oh.
That's why Kiefer has 17 names. 17 proper names. They're all relevant. But they covered the bases. Favorite uncles, grandparents, the whole bit. Lineage names, the whole bit. It's all in there.
His brother.
He's kind of annoyed talking about that. So
his brother was in the sequel that came way too late of Lost Boys, and in the opening segment, he and 2 other like asshole vampires kill Tom Savini, and Tom Savini's also a vampire, and he thinks that they're not vampires, and he finds out the hard way they are vampires, and he gets all freaked out, and then they behead him and throw his head into the ocean, and you see his head sink and come to and then that's when the title segment begins. Actually, that was the best part of the whole damn movie.
Yeah. I can send you a funny video. G. Tom Mack doing the theme song to Lost Boys with Corey Haim next to him banging on a bongo drum. It wasn't me that shot the video. You can hear me singing in the video, but you get side shots of me, and you know I'm there. But we didn't record it, but I'm there with them. But it's kind of funny because Corey disappeared on a drug bender that weekend.
Shocking.
And I've got some Have You Seen Me flyers from where we lost him here in town.
That's funny.
And they found him, and he was alive. And 6 months later, he did the same thing, and he died.
No. He actually died of the flu. Died in his sleep of the flu.
No, he didn't.
Well, that's what they said.
Yeah, no, he didn't. It was a shame.
Okay.
No, he didn't.
Okay. Well, I met him. I met him that night that I saw this was at Comic-Con 2008, and that's when they debuted the movie. And Corey Feldman had a bit part in it as one of the Frog Brothers, and Corey Haim showed up and sat there on the panel, and you could tell he was pretty screwed up.
Yeah, I mean, it's been 15 years. I don't think I'm telling tales out of order here.
No.
Hell, it's been almost 20, but no, it's fairly common knowledge he speedballed.
Oh, was that what it was?
Well, he got bad drugs. He could have been heroin, but it was ugly. When he was on, it was beautiful. When he was off, it was ugly.
He was only like 33 when he died.
Yeah. I have so many of these silly stories. I keep saying I won't tell them out of turn because people are still alive or it's embarrassing. But I'm getting to the point where I'm not even worried about that anymore.
Well, a lot of the people you had to tell stories about are dead anyway, so I don't think it really matters.
Having a sit down with Scott Weiland at a bar, watching him get burned on a heroin deal. He handed a total fucking stranger $150 to go score him some smack and was going to take it. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, dude?
Killing himself.
What the fuck?
That's what happened.
Well, he kind of bore his soul a little bit. He's like, this is how I survive. It's like, this is how I survive. This is like it or not with me. This is me. And he did some self-reflection, and we talked the, tortured soul, tortured poet kind of thing. We had a moment. He signed a $1 bill for my cousin. We had some moments. I've had some sit-down moments with some really cool people. Love talking to Savini, but talking with Savini, that dude is a cartoon character. He is animated.
Yeah, no, he is.
And then we did this, and then and then the blood was good.
Then we went over here, and then we went over here.
So animated. I watched that dude get stoned out of his mind and was still animated.
Well, that's when I get most animated, actually. So that tracks.
Yeah. Usually people that get stoned just kind of take it down a notch, and he talked with his hands so much. He just, and then we did, and, you say Ray Harryhausen to the guy, and his eyes light up, and he's like, oh my God. And it was so great. You'd think he was a speedballer, but not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Light drinker, but loved to get high.
Wait, Savini? Yeah, that makes sense.
But you would think
he played a good villain in a lot of movies, though. He was great in From Dusk Till Dawn.
And he downplays anything he's ever done. He's like, yeah, I'm not even a real actor. I'm just a pretend actor, and yada, yada, yada. And then it's like, well, you're great with this. And he's like, he takes compliments great, but you say...
But the funny thing is, the very definition of an actor is pretender, so,
But then you say, well, he's so iconic with his FX work and stuff like that. And then he'll list you off 20 people that he's like, I'm a wannabe them. I'm a wannabe Harryhausen. I want to be
Rick Baker.
Yeah, I want to be Rick Baker. And it's like, but you're that good. He's like, thanks. But, I know I'm not. So
Rick Baker was...
Like, but we made this piece that did this. And
so Rick Baker was 18 when he received an Emmy Award for the makeup he did with Dick Smith on the autobiography of Miss Jane Pittman, where they made Cicely Tyson look 103. That's another thing I wish we could talk about sometime, our favorite movies of the week. I watched Duel this week for the first time in years and realized what a great movie that is. It's Dennis Weaver, Spielberg's first movie. Really good. Really, really good.
I harken back to last week because we can talk Elmore Leonard all day long.
Well, and Elmore Leonard wrote the story, and he wound up writing some of the scripts or co-writing some of the scripts for Justified. Justified was actually his TV show. And he died in the last season. But, you know, that show lasted 6 seasons.
Yeah.
And now it's back. And it's based on another Elmore Leonard novel that the Raylan Givens character wasn't in, but they retooled it so he is in. I think it works perfectly.
Yeah.
I mean, you can really pick and choose as much of his elements as you want. You know, truly.
Hey, Cap, how you doing, buddy? So, but yeah, I think Elmore Leonard, and then of course any of his movies, they've got them all right. They got.
Hey, Captain Comics, how are you today, buddy? Hey, Captain Comics, are you a One Piece fan? Reason I ask is because they've just released, and I haven't watched it yet, but they just dropped a new One Piece TV series, live action. I've heard good things about it. But then I really loved the live action version of Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah.
And it got canceled before it finished. So
too much production cost. That's bottom line was the bottom line.
Yeah, I think you're right. But,
too many people
that song Tank, that was the theme song to both. Oh my God, you don't get any better than that damn theme song. That's a theme song worthy of like a show like Hawaii Five-0 or so. I mean, it's that epic, or James or Peter Gunn or something like that. You know, it's just ding 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 ding. Let's go. I love that.
But we talk about favorite movies, and in the Elmore Leonard vein, because it was an homage to him, Things to Do in Denver When You're Dead.
Never seen that one.
And best line in the world is in that movie. Andy Garcia looks at this woman and goes, "Women who glide deserve a man who makes them thump."
That's good.
It's so good. And it's so cheesy, but it's Christopher Lloyd, William Forsythe. It ends, the way it ends is absolute Hollywood cheese. And it's over the top, but that movie is hey Kyle, I saw a dolphin with a tattoo of you on it. There you go, Cap. Yeah, me and my fucking pink dolphin tattoo stories. But yeah, Things to Do in Denver When You're Dead. It's a must watch. If you fall asleep in the last 5 minutes in the end credits, you ain't missing nothing. But boat drinks. Christopher Lloyd is so good in that.
Oh, you know.
Just
yes.
So good. Just so good. And such cheese. And then I get hate for this all the time, but the only good Tarantino, beginning, middle, and end, the only good Tarantino to me is True Romance. And he just wrote it. If he'd have directed it, I think he would have crashed it.
I don't know. I thought Scott did a great job directing it. I loved the role that Gary Oldman played. Yeah. Well, I loved everybody. That's the first movie that I ever saw. What's the guy's name from The Sopranos? Gandolfini. That's the first thing I ever saw him in.
Yeah. Hopper was amazing in that.
Oh, Walken.
And it's just yeah.
Walken is the Sicilian.
Silly, but it's good. And of course it's about comic books, so we can bring it back to comic books. Kid that works in a comic book shop.
And that was that I don't know if it was the next movie she did, but I think that was the next movie Rosanna Arquette did after Dream Warriors. Or it's pretty close.
But that's a good one. The rest of Tarantino's library I can kind of do without. They have great moments. I mean, Pulp Fiction has great moments. It is not the greatest movie that ever.
I loved it. Jackie Brown was really good.
It had its moments. Kill Bill 1 and 2 had their moments. To me, they just had their moments. They couldn't hold out.
Have you ever seen Angry 8?
No, I'm not a Western.
I think you'd like it. I do think you'd like it. Let's
But-
see what the comments are saying.
Cap had to take a hike.
Not a
He'll
One
come
Piece
back
fan. Okay. Got to go back to work. See you guys on. Bye, Captain. Thank you for coming in.
But, you know, I think somebody's always, for my little 1 year pop up on fucking YouTube for a while, crashing people's parties, I think they'll be talking about the dolphin tattoo jumping my dick for years.
I think that's pretty hilarious. Do you have a tattoo of a dolphin?
A pink dolphin jumping my Johnson.
Okay, I hope I never see it. But and I do mean that. But
it's at an angle, but that's
well,
what it
I
almost
still
seems
don't want to see it.
so.
Thank you though. For,
But, yeah.
now I can't wash that image out of my
It's that fucking ridiculous. But I don't have any problem making fun of myself.
Can't wash it out
at all. And nobody could understand that. It's like, wait, you can make fun of yourself all day long. I can make fun of myself. You're not going to come at me with anything because I am as ridiculous as you think I am. So,
you're as ridiculous as they come, man. No, you're not.
I don't give a shit. When I tell people, I just don't give a shit with the public. You know, I never want to be rich and famous, and people call bullshit. And it's like, I don't want to be fucking rich and famous. I'm well aware I could have been rich and famous.
Yeah, you could
Two
have.
things I never wanted in life. I think money is probably the dumbest concoction outside of war that man's ever made.
What's that?
I think money is the dumbest concoction outside of war that man has ever made.
Well, you may be right.
So, you know, and then I'm a peacenik hippie, but I'm a combat marine, but I'm still a peacenik hippie.
Peacenik hippie, combat marine.
I had one of my buddies won $200 because when I went to boot camp, they had a pool going that the military had changed me, and my one buddy went, he'll come back even weirder. And I came back from boot camp even weirder and won my buddy $200 because everybody thought it just changed me. I'm like, nope, didn't change me. Drove me more towards it.
Amen, brother.
But that's why, you know, my dog tags say I was a Taoist and a Zen Buddhist. And I was.
There's a lot to be said for Buddhism. In fact, I will say this. Even as a practicing Catholic, we're allowed. Many of the popes have given their, including Francis, we're allowed to meditate in Buddhist temples, and so I've done that many times. I felt very cleansed mentally and very cleansed spiritually when I went in and out of there. So I'll be right back. Keep talking.
I'm just a firm believer in all good things. I have no shame in saying I'm a Buddhist monk, a Sufi mystic, a Sufi fakir, and I'm a non-denominational ordained Christian minister. But I'm just a searcher.
Yeah.
And I'm full of shit. I'm a walking bag of full of shit. But I can say that because if I look back at my life, I think
it's you.
Goddamn joke. Most of my life's been a Monty Python skit. And ain't much than anybody else. I just ran in a different crowd. That's the only difference. I partied with rock stars and told presidents to go fuck themselves. Unapologetically. That is a good feeling when you can tell a president to go fuck themselves. That's a good feeling.
Which president did you tell to go fuck themselves?
Both Bushes.
Really?
Yeah. Both Bushes, and then a VP and Mike Pence. I told Mike Pence he better get the fuck away from me or I'm going to hurt him. And his Secret Service told me I better not do that.
Yeah, Indiana's a real fan of those guys.
Fucking hated him. I had to leave the room. When Bush Sr. was president, I had to leave the fucking room or I would have been thrown in the brig. But I knew too much and I was madder than hell. And they're like, you're supposed to be in here. And I'm like, if you don't let me out, I'm going to get in trouble. And they let me out of the room.
That was a
And
good
I
thing.
told Junior to fuck a rolling donut. I told Clinton he was full of shit. I told him he was awesome, but he's full of shit. And he agreed, which made me like him even more.
Yeah.
He,
But
he,
I did not inhale, Kyle. I did not inhale.
he didn't even give me the political jargon that goes with it. He didn't give me the bullshit. I said, you're full of shit. And he just, human to human, he fucking agreed with me. He's like, well, sometimes you gotta be. So I liked him, but I called him an asshole to his face.
Yeah, he was a good guy.
I would have beat the living shit out of Reagan. I hated
Would
the
you?
fact that I served a year under Reagan. I hated that. And then when they offered me a job at Camp David, I was like, I'm not working for these skeevy fuckers.
Yet you still kind of were, sadly.
No, I mean, the military's one thing, but to actually work straight for
that's
them.
true. I agree with that.
I wouldn't catch a fucking bullet for them. I've been in line to catch a bullet for guys like Netanyahu, and it's like, why? I wouldn't. Power hungry fucking pricks.
No, exactly.
Money and pricks. But I can call the absurdity. But, the parties I went to, the coke and whore parties that I went to, it's shit out of pornos. It makes Buggy Night look like fucking bars.
I was with someone delivering coke when I was in college. I was with someone delivering coke to the Stones at the Fairmont in Dallas, and in walks Mick Jagger with his arm around this guy, and they're like best friends. You could tell they were like coked up to the nth degree. And guess who it was? It was George W. Bush.
Yeah.
Yeah. And which was hilarious. But and he, I will say this. I got paid thousands of dollars for playing Bush in commercials here in San Antonio, and abroad actually. They aired in other for other car companies, but I basically did car ads as W, and I came and I played them on stage a bunch of times for the Gridiron show here. The funniest thing I ever did was I rewrote Janie's Got a Gun to Cheney's Got a Gun after Cheney, shot that guy in the face.
Shot him in the face and didn't see any punishment for it.
Yeah. Exactly.
And that was a power move. You don't accidentally shoot somebody in the face with a fucking shotgun.
Unless you're a total dumbass, which, I mean, could be him too. I don't know.
If you're ignorant, fall down drunk, or it's a power move.
He
Anybody
can't see
knows
worth
shit
a
about
shit,
Cheney
though.
knows it's 3.
Yeah. Cheney's got a gun.
The fucker signed a waterboard for Sacha Baron Cohen and laughed at it.
That's sad.
And laughed at it.
Well, and Rudy Giuliani tried to have sex with his fake daughter in the Borat sequel.
Which they made it clear she was, even though she was like 19, they're like, but she's 15 and he's still trying to pull it out.
Oh, yeah.
But again,
I didn't know what I was doing. Yeah,
I'll nail them all.
Whatever, Simon Bar Sinister. He's such an idiot.
Talk about a character made for the part. He fucking looks like Simon Bar Sinister.
He does, right?
I'll dog him on both sides, and people don't understand that either. I'll dog the shit out of him because I've seen them all do the same shit.
Yeah, pretty much.
Money and power does the same shit too. You can talk out of one side of your mouth and do some good, but it doesn't balance out the shit you're doing, You ever been to a coke and whore party? You can just drop names left, right, and sideways, Saw this guy do this, saw this guy do that. What's normal? What's normal is eyes wide shut. And again, that's as vanilla as it gets. People think, oh, that's neat. No, that's fucking boring and vanilla compared to what happens. Except
but it was totally in your face, and I'm serious. For the time, it was only 10 years, a little over 10 years after the war had ended. I thought Darian Harwood was great in it. I thought everybody was great in it, but it was one of those movies. Of course, D'Onofrio was off the hook great as Corporal Pyle.
You're talking about Private Pyle. You're talking about
Pyle. Yeah, he never made it to
Full Metal Jacket. That made my mom cry a lot.
Emery, he
Arlie
was
Ermy.
Ely. Yeah, thank you. I always fuck that one up. He was. Did you ever meet him?
Yep.
I heard he was a really good guy, and he wasn't full of shit, and he wasn't. He
was a gung-ho air mech, but he was a drill instructor. But I could give him shit because he was an air mech, so I could give him shit.
You know, I thought he was really good in movies where he didn't play anybody in the military. Like, I thought he was great in the Ernest Borgnine role in the remake of Willard with Crispin Glover. I thought that was excellent casting. And Crispin Glover, if I'm not mistaken, he was either pushing 40 or close to 40 when he did that role. And I thought that made him far creepier than a young Bruce, what's his face? Bruce Davidson.
Yeah.
Although Bruce Davidson has done some great stuff. But it's funny, a lot of people forget that he played Willard originally. And they never did a remake of Ben. That kind of surprised me a little bit.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
You want me to go get my Arlie Ermy autograph just for a laugh?
Yeah, go get it.
Okay.
I'll sing while you're gone.
Just vamp it up.
You didn't know what you were looking for till you heard the voices in your ear. It's me again, plain to see again. I don't remember the rest. Okay. Or I do know all the lyrics to Mommy's all right, Daddy's all right, they just seem a little weird. Surrender, surrender, but don't give yourself away. Hey, hey. Thank you. Father told me, yes, you told me. I met girls. Wait. He also told me to stay away. You never know what you'll catch. Before we married, Mommy served in the Wax of Philippines. Mommy wasn't one of the, I don't know, fudge. My lyrics are going out the window. So, we don't have any more. We don't have anybody sending us messages anymore. That's a shame. No more comments. Because Captain Comics had to go back to work. And we're now at 3:37. We've got roughly 23 minutes left in the show. Thank you for all those who tuned in today. We're glad to have you. I don't have anything else to show right now, except stuff you've already seen before, I'm sure. My funny comic stories were having dinner with Will Eisner and Jack Kirby, and Will Eisner starts going off on Howard Chaykin, who had American flag out at the time, saying he must be fascist because of the Hugo Boss style fashions he was putting on his characters in American flag. And I spoke up for him and I said, you know, it was a certain visual he wanted, a military visual of like the future. And of course, we always recycle ideas. And I said, I don't think that was fascist at all. I think it was a conscious move for him to come up with a different look. And of course, he used that look in everything after that. He used it in his Shadow redo. Of course, he used it in the Black Hawk reboot that he did. And just Howard's a great guy. Wish Howard would be our guest. Howard will be our guest if I ask him.
Hello again. All right. Why are you muted, Bill?
And it also muted me.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
So, the only thing I have left from the Gulf War.
Wow.
Because it reminded me of Rat Patrol. I was supposed to burn.
Let me see the other side. I didn't see the other side. That's not.
They're smashed down.
Turn it flat. Front flat.
They're smashed down because they had to be packed away. But we're supposed to burn everything.
Let me see. I want to see the left lens. There's something about that you hadn't let me see.
Oh no, these are just standard. They're just dirty.
Oh, you have the dollar in there. That's what it was.
Oh
okay.
Yeah, I'll tell you about that in a minute. But like the outside of these is just dust from my house over the years. But the inside, the dirt on the inside of these things,
it's all from war.
It's sand from Kuwait, Iraq, Jordan, Qatar, all that stuff. But we had to burn everything, uniforms included, because of what we came in contact with. We couldn't leave stuff behind.
I'll be right back. Keep going.
We basically flew out in PT gear that was issued fresh. Because when we pulled out of the Middle East, we had to burn everything from potential chemical contact. So this is the only thing that I was able to save because I buried it in my bag under my civvies. But what's in here is a $1 bill. And when you get back, I'll show it to you. So on the whole, you generally always have something for somebody to sign if you got $1 in your pocket. I've had hundreds of dollar bills, or at least $100 bills. 100 singles signed over the years.
Who signed that?
Can you
Drew
see?
who?
Drew is me.
Oh.
R. Lee Ermey.
Oh, wow, man. That's great.
So, yeah, I met him.
You didn't say to Drew. You just said Drew.
Drew, R. Lee
Was
Ermey,
he nice to you?
Oh, yeah. So, just picture this. A goofball like me, a goofball like R. Lee Ermey, and a goofball.
I heard he was kind of a lefty in real life.
Moderate. He was definitely moderate. He'd stand on both sides of the fence, but he kind of did lean left. But again, he was an air mech, and I could bust his balls about that because I was a real grunt. He wasn't.
Why wasn't he a real grunt?
He was an air
always
mechanic.
in command.
He was in the air wing.
Oh! So the Boy Scouts, basically.
Yeah, he was in the Boy Scouts, and he knew it. And like combat Marines will just bust the balls, or I don't even want to say combat job Marines. Grunts would bust everybody's balls. The pencil pushers, the air wing guys. Still love them. Army went to Vietnam and the whole bit. Mad respect there. But it's not going to stop the fact that I'm going to bust his balls that he was an air winger. But just picture this. Goofball me, goofball R. Lee Ermey, and David Wolf. Do you know who David Wolf is?
No, who is David Wolf?
An astronaut.
Oh, shoot. No, I did not know that.
So I'm standing in an air show with R. Lee Ermey and a fucking astronaut. Just busting each other's balls till the cows come home. And confusing everybody around us.
Well, that happens when you and I get together, too.
Confusing everybody around us. Because you would think by appearances, we'd have nothing in common. Because I look more military and stoic now, but grow a little hair, grow a little facial hair, have a Fu Manchu mustache or something. You know, I looked pretty not military. And then Ermie's standing there, and then David Wolf standing there, and we're just busting each other's chops to no end.
You
and
know what I
people are
loved
like,
him
we
in?
don't get this, huh?
Do you remember Space Above and Beyond?
Sounds familiar.
It was about the Space Marines, and like maybe 75 years from now, and it starred James Morrison was in it. It was great. It was by Chris Carter, the guy who created X-Files.
Yeah.
It lasted, I think, 2 seasons. It was fantastic. It actually shows our first interaction with aliens. It was great. Ely Ermey was their training instructor.
Yeah.
And he basically did the same job he did in anything he played a drill instructor in. But It was so great to see him in something a little different. Of course, this was soon after we'd first been introduced to Space Marines in what movie?
Aliens.
Yes, exactly. And honestly, I thought that movie was far better than the original in a lot of aspects, because of the military element. It was, I mean, Cameron was coming off of a high from Terminator, and but Aliens was so much better than Terminator. Oh my God!
Yeah.
I mean,
I
so
could
much
not
better.
find the idea of Space Marines more ridiculous at all. Because Marines are mariners. What does that mean?
Well, what they're saying is that space is the sea.
Well, you would think, but
Well, that's what they're trying to get at. I mean,
give it a different name. Call it Space Force. I'd be good with that.
Well, now
Marines
it's
are
Space
mariners.
Force.
Marines
that's good. That's probably one of the best, if only good things that Trump did, was actually calling out a Space Force. I actually, I mean, it's kind of irrelevant in a way because that really fell in the Air Force anyway. But I don't know. You would have thought it would have brought more money to NASA, which it did not do.
That's where we need to go. That's what we need to concentrate on. Fuck the dumb shit. Fuck the petty geopolitical shit.
Exactly.
Explore.
Cheers to that.
Get out in fucking space. If you're going to expand, don't expand up. Don't expand sideways. Expand out. Get the fuck out there. Get the fuck out and find something new. Discover. We've just fucking lost that. And mind you, this conversation just kind of tilted right where that conversation with me, Ermey, and David Wolf went. That's where we need to go with this, is out. We don't need to do these colonizations. We don't need to do these fucking land grabs.
Did they agree?
Any of this geopolitical bullshit. 1,000%.
Well, see, in Ely Ermey, God, I keep getting his name wrong. Army or Ermey?
R. Lee Ermey.
R. Lee Ermey. God, I always fuck it up. My dad loved him. Oh my God. My dad was career Air Force, liberal as we are, and oh my God, he loved the guy.
Well, and he, like I said, he was an air mech, so he fit right in with your dad.
Well, my dad didn't know that either, and that makes me even happier. Yeah. It really did. Oh, you're Her Highness this week. I didn't realize. Oh, the Queen is. Hey, do your best Queen imitation.
Theodore Dolores Tank Butter. I thought that up a couple days ago. Made myself.
I like that.
Type it into the thing.
Here's my best Queen imitation. Oh, and then I collapse my screen. That's brilliant, Bill. Then I collapsed the screen. I was trying to do "We Will Rock You." But that went over like a Led Zeppelin.
Liberal. You know, my memories that We Will Rock You, or we're playing 8th grade football, sitting in the hallway before a game, before we walked out to the field, smacking our thigh pads, getting ready to go out and play football. Now my grandkid's about to hit 8th, seem to hit 8th grade, so.
That's crazy, man.
But, you know, I played 8th grade football.
Life is nuts.
I was an outside linebacker that loved to punch people. So, never made any sense to me.
None at all. None at all.
But, yeah, this Ermy and Wolf and me, they're literally talking about if we're going to colonize out. Not, fuck all this geopolitical bullshit. The world
there's no other life that we know of in our solar system, so it would be a lot easier to colonize.
The world needs an alien invasion, and I'm telling you, there is fucking life in this solar system. There's life on this Earth that does not come from this Earth.
Well, yeah,
oh,
but I
my
don't
God, it is so hard for me not to call Andre Carson and go, come on the fucking show.
Who's Andre Carson?
Representative Andre Carson that heads Project
Oh, your
Blue
friend.
Book.
Yeah, the black congressman, yes.
He heads the current Project Blue Book. I mean, he couldn't say much, but he come on.
That's okay. He could allude to things.
Huh?
He could allude to things.
He really could. And I bet he would. But again, it'd just be a token appearance is all it would be. But I think it'd be cool as hell just the fact that
well, we don't need to say anything token about him.
That's the
I'm joking. I'm joking, folks.
Yeah, there was a joke and a joke that you joked back with. We got
I had to go back with the token, yes.
But no, I mean, oh God, he just really needs to come on here and just. I mean, it'd be a flex on my end just to say, yes, this is my buddy. I am more, it's kind of weird to say, I am more well acquainted with him than I am with any of you guys, Johnny included.
Well, did you grow up with him?
More or less.
That's phenomenal.
Because when I think about growing up, I think about the early years, and it wasn't my early years, but, you know, we've been well acquainted for 30 years. Or going on 30, around about 30 years now or so.
So I do want to say I've been reading Johnny Reisler's book. I don't know if you've read it, but it's pretty good.
I'm in it.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Well, damn. I did not know that.
Go to chapter 22. I'm in it.
I haven't gotten there yet, but I will.
Are you talking about Party or are you talking about his other one?
Talking about Party.
You're talking about I Love a Good Party. Yeah, I'm in it.
That's awesome.
He made me a federal agent in that, and as a favor, he's going to make Alistair a federal agent in the next one.
I like that. I like that very much.
That's what I was telling the guys from Super Santa last week. I'm like, just draw me as a background image in a comic, just so I can say I've been in that comic. Because I've been in a comic before, but it's been indies. A dream would be to be drawn into a Marvel comic, but I don't really care.
So a friend of ours in college was a major coke dealer. He wound up, I don't know what happened to him for a period. I don't know if he ever got caught or what happened, but he was always super paranoid. But then maybe 6 or 7 years later, our mutual friend who was his roommate, Scott, was a major reporter for the Express News here, still is. And he was in a federal lockup for something. And there's our friend Brian bringing in some kind of guy in handcuffs. So apparently Brian became a Fed after being a coke dealer. So how crazy is that? Did you just go pick up your mail?
Package came from my wife.
Oh, that's
From
good.
Brian. Had to go get that, not leave it on the porch. Usually they look in the garage when I got the door open. They didn't even look in the garage.
No, that's nice. You know, since Texas passed this law that taking something off of someone's porch is a felony,
Yeah.
that shit's kind of stopped. Knock on wood, but some people are still crazy. So,
Well, again, and here we go going political and geopolitical again, but people shouldn't need where they have to steal.
nope, that's true.
If people didn't need where they have to steal, the problem would resolve itself.
Agreed.
There would still be a minuscule amount of murderers, thieves, and things like that, but it would become almost non-existent.
Agreed.
We could all but eradicate all these things, and these idiots keep letting fucking malaria come back. People are so fucking
and
stupid.
polio and polio
and polio. How the fuck dumb do you have to be to let
and
those
smallpox?
Things? We beat these things, and then they let shit go down so bad. Yes, birds. Oh my God, there's 20 birds out here, including this beautiful cardinal. Just pissed as hell at me that I ain't fed them yet today.
I wish you could feed them and show us the birds, but.
Well, I can, but they're going to shoo off when I go out to feed them, and then they come back, but then they just be a backdrop, and if I move around too much, they take off.
Yeah, that's true.
But it is so dumb. I mean, anybody that has an argument against that just makes no sense to me.
I agree.
How could you argue against eradicating hunger, eradicating need?
Agreed.
So many things would become redundant that we just wouldn't need it anymore if we just shut up and feed the fucking world. You know?
Amen, brother.
And less people would take advantage of it. But look at what we got now. It's people who like, I have $800 million. It's not enough. I have to be a billionaire. Shut the fuck up. People are fucking starving. Take that too. Oh my God. Look at these fuckers going nuts. Can you?
Let me see. Oh my gosh.
Are they too small? They are mad.
No, I see them. Wow. What are they doing? They're all over the place.
I haven't fed them today, and they're getting mad at me. Hold on. You're going to watch me fill my feeder, and then they'll come back. But they're getting fucking mad at me.
That's crazy. Yeah, they are.
Legitimately mad because,
we want food. We want food.
Oh, shit. I got to cut a new bag. All right.
We want food. We want food. Say it.
This is going to take a minute.
How about it? We want food.
Let me make sure this stays in frame so I'm not totally at a distance. Let me see if this stays in frame. Yeah, that stays in frame.
Stays in the frame.
Fucking goose shit out here now.
Holy crap. Today they eat like kings. So we're ending the show today, folks, with feeding the birds. So that's for the birds? Yes. So is our show, so it fits perfectly, don't you think? I think so. Okay. Key to the birds. We see the food. We're in this tree right behind you, Kyle. We're coming. We're coming to get that food, motherfucker.
That's my 20 pounds of food.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Use this hand, but I feel more comfortable using my right hand. Man, I've had sinus problems for the last 2 weeks, and it sucks. Just saying that. It's Texas. What do you expect? Texas has all kind of weed, like issues like ragweed, whatever else weed. Okay, now let's see what happens.
It'll take them a minute, but they'll come back. But I got to sit here quietly. But that's my 20 pounds of feed routine every few days. I got to go load them up. It's getting less and less the later in the season it gets.
Well, yeah, because they're.
I used to go through about a bag a week.
How cold does it get there in Indiana? Pretty cold, right?
Well, it's been 36 below here.
Holy crap!
Non-wind chill.
I don't even know if we've ever gone below here in San Antonio. We've come close. We had 18 inches of snow one time in 1985. That was crazy. My best friend got snowed in with us at the house, and my mom seriously thought he and I were going to single-handedly or double-handedly, as the case may be, eat him out of house and home. That did not happen. We're going to stay on long enough to see if we see some birds, folks.
There you go. Yeah, blizzard of 77, 78 here at 25-foot snow drifts.
Jesus Christ.
That's
ridiculous.
They push the snow off all the main roads and push it onto like back rural roads. And they made snow banks that were 12 feet high that we used to build igloos out of. I was out of school for 2.5 months when that happened.
Holy crap. That's like COVID time.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, we cleaned up. We'd go shovel people's driveways, dig them out of their houses. Did a lot of it for free, but I want to get back on that fucking soapbox again where we just make money irrelevant. We just make hunger irrelevant. You know, there will be that fringe, but it will be such a small fucking percentage.
Understood.
And make capital punishment what it was meant to be. If you're irrefutably guilty, if you were caught in a fucking act, that 30% who are just irrefutably guilty of heinous crimes, shoot them in the fucking head. You know?
Well, you know, I mean, we don't have any problem with that here in Texas, except we inject them still.
I mean, I don't believe in dragging shit out if you're irrefutably guilty of a heinous crime against humanity. You know, mainly murder and stuff like that.
I think people should have the right to choose their way to be executed, though.
And guillotine the fuckers that just don't get it, you know.
Yeah.
Anybody that says I need $10 billion needs to be put in a public square and guillotined. You don't need $10 billion fucking dollars. And it's just a concept. I have a $10 billion concept. They don't even have something tangible. They have the concept of something.
Right.
You know. Yeah, they're still kind of confused. They're waiting for the birds to come back. It takes them a minute for that to stop swinging and them to come back. But, you know, nobody, like the people that deserve the most money, we talk about polio, Jonas Salk, should have been handed millions of dollars. And the guy went, no, it's for humankind. Give it to him. There you go. There's the fucking answer right there. Well, the guy should have been rich. Well, he was a doctor. He made a good living. He understood that.
He made plenty.
There.
Don't feel bad for him.
And that was his words. I made plenty. Don't feel bad for me. Here. Take this. Don't profit off of this. You know, this is killing people.
That is hilarious.
You know, why can't humanity fucking be like that? That is not a high bar. People think that is such a low bar, dude. And people think, well, I need wealth. And, you know, like, God love him. We got Mark on here, and, you know, Mark does well. And it's like, good. I'm glad you do well.
Yep.
But that does not mean that somebody else doesn't deserve it. And they're like, well, if they're the druggies and they're this and they're that.
No,
you know,
that's not.
Guys, got to wrap up soon. I only got 20 seconds. All right. Well, I don't think the birds are coming back. We got a comment from Dre. He needs to wrap up. We cleared 2 hours.
It's been great. I'd like to thank everybody for joining us. And hold on, we have one more comment. Guys, got to wrap up soon. I got, okay. Well, I'm sorry, Gray. I didn't realize we were wiping you out like that.
Yeah, we just rambled on. So,
hey, man, Kyle, I'll probably FaceTime you in a few minutes.
Okay.
Okay. Everybody, have a great week. We love you. Live long and prosper. And we'll see you next week, hopefully.
Hey, alien.
Geeky Weekly is out of the building.
Goodbye.